Thank you to everybody. I want to apologize for our technical difficulties. I understand from my email that some people tried to log in at 1 o'clock and then they weren't able to get on. So maybe they're back with us, maybe they never came back, we're not sure. But I want to just, for those of us in the room here, you can see there's questions. There's a little bit of a chat box that's popped up here. And it says, or it asks the question, not sure who can address this, but what are the ministry's plans? Are they replacing the program with something else? And then if you scroll down here, we've got a bit of a conversation that started. Alice Watney says, I understand that most of the money has been enveloped to advanced education. From there, I'm not sure what will work. We need to be face-to-face with our communities. I think that so many times we get stuck with our daily business in our institutions where we should be talking to ones that are impacted. Maybe somebody else here in the room wants to talk about the money question, but my understanding is that there is no money. What there was taken away in the March 31st budget. The budget was wiped out. If you look at those ministerial mandate letters that were released by Premier Wall back a week or so ago, anything to do with these issues now rests with the Ministry of Advanced Education, Employment and Labor. But I don't think there's any budget that's been applied to this, nor is there any clear direction. It's just a mandate that they're supposed to somehow improve the number of Aboriginal people graduating from post-secondary institutions. There's no clear target, there's no program, and there's no funding. So that's what we think we know at this point. Does anybody here in the room want to add to what is being asked here online? Is that your? Yeah, just go to the mic, please.
Shining Eagle is my name. My Christian name is Barry Spence, though. And Eber mentioned a couple of things which I'd like to expand upon.
Sure.
A couple of words that he mentioned was workplace, workforce, and I think we should add another one because I think I see this coming. It's called workfare. It's a hybrid of the old workfare programs in the past. And I think that's coming up next. I don't think you have to be a genius to see that coming. Now, a couple of things that also mentioned, which I want to also go over as well. You mentioned the Kelowna Accord, specifically, right? The Kelowna Accord?
Yes.
Now, the perception was by the new government which came in that was a partisan type of program, and they ended that. Now, I think with this representative workforce program, this ain't partisanship. What we have to understand is what's good economically for the Aboriginal population is going to be good for everybody. Plain and simple as that. And I got a kick out of walking around this building. I haven't been in here since 1988 when I first graduated from this wonderful institution back in the SISC days. And it was mentioned in here. One of the things we did when the federal government attacked the E12 guidelines was, by golly, we actually had a sit-in at the regional offices of Indian Affairs on 2 separate occasions. And I'm not sure where that attitude has gone. I think that we have to shoulder the responsibility for that. We can't pass the buck and say it's somebody else. We've failed to motivate the people who are out there. But I see there's a lot of good intentions in here, and I see that there's a lot of hardworking people in here. And let's try to find some of that motivation to engage the Aboriginal community once again, all right? And I think this is a first step, so I want to acknowledge Eber and yourself, Larry, for putting this on. And I think it's important to note that this isn't a school of business. This isn't about social justice, because social justice is a product of economic justice, plain and simple as that. And it's not a partisan issue. And let's go beyond that, as a matter of fact. I don't think I've answered anybody's questions, mind you. Maybe I've raised some.
Well, I'll put the questions back up here for a moment. So you could at least go to the mic and tell us who you are. I think most people know that, right? So why are you here? What did you hope might come out of this? That was one of Eber's questions. And now is the right time for something. So what is that something?
Hi there, I'm Dennis Esperance. I'm with the Saskatoon Tribal Council, Saskatoon Public Schools Partnership. And one of the questions that I was thinking about is what can be done next, I guess. And one of the, this program has worked very well for the partnership that we have in the education sector. And I'd hate to see it go by the wayside. So I think when, the leadership of the First Nations and the Métis communities, I think, need to be consulted, I think, and see, because supposedly they were involved in the discussions of the demise of this program. So I think they need to be informed of, what are some of the successes of this program, and that they need to get behind and support this initiative. So in order for us to sustain it and retain it. So that's one of the suggestions that I have.
So who would do that consultation process? Who should lead that?
I'm not too sure. I don't have an answer for that, and I think Wayne is an ideal guy for that kind of, to do some of that kind of lobbying with
Before he
leadership.
loses any more of his hair, I guess.
Yeah, so that's one suggestion that I have. So.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else want to go to a mic?
My name is Melanie Medlicott, and I'm the Regional Director of CUPE. CUPE's done a fair amount of work in the representative workforce. We are the ones who worked with Wayne back in 2000, I believe is when we started, and actually set up the partnership agreements with the healthcare people. And the increase in the hiring in just, let's say, Prince Albert, it went from 1% up to, I think it's close to 10% right now. 19? Oh, great. And so it's even better than I thought. And so that took a lot of work on their part as well as ours in going into all of those workplaces. And we had Bill Anderson, who we actually hired with money that the provincial government gave us, so that Bill could go out and do the training with our employees in the health field. And that went a long way to making sure that when Aboriginal people came to work, that they felt comfortable and weren't, so severely abused as they had been in the past. And so all of that work, when the government then turned around and just chopped off the partnership agreements, it sort of left us in this void, like, what are we going to do? We did hold a press conference, but we didn't seem to get much response out of that. It did hit the papers and it hit the TV, but that was sort of the end of it. We never heard any more. And so I was really glad when I heard about this meeting today, because it seems to me that this could be the start of making sure that we get something back again. And that doesn't mean to say that CUPE is going to quit. We're still doing lots of things in a lot of the areas where we've been doing a lot of work. We're now moving into putting all kinds of language in the collective agreement that meets the needs of our Aboriginal members. We hold Aboriginal conferences each year, and as I keep telling them when I work with them, is they're going to be the future of CUPE. They will be the future. They will be the leaders. So I need them to start coming to meetings and start meeting with us so that they can take over. And we just had a really successful Aboriginal conference, and it was really sort of put all the years that we worked so hard and only had a few people turn out. This time we had a large crowd, and so it was really satisfying to see that. And the thing that I like so much is that the Métis and First Nations people who attended really said that they felt very welcome by CUPE. So, and that's something that we've worked very hard to do over the years. And we don't tend to stop. We'll just keep on going. And one of our next fights, I guess, is that we have the partnership agreements right in our collective agreements in many cases. So the government may cut them, but if the employers don't keep it up, that's a violation of our collective agreements. Mm-hmm. So we will be able to file grievances and take them all the way to arbitration if need be. So those are some of the things that we're looking at if we ever get a collective agreement with the provincial government, of course. That's the first priority at this point. So I don't know whether I want to add anything more at this time. What I see, I guess, for the future is I just really hope that this group gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and we start making some really loud noises so that the government just doesn't completely ignore us like they've been doing for so long.